excellent role model for the youth of America. And we go to Atlanta. Speaking of the youth of America, we have a 12-year-old on the phone. This is Patrick, and it is a distinct pleasure to have you here, Patrick. How are you today?
I'm good, Rush.
What's up?
I just wanted to call and say that I read all 5 of your books. I've loved them. They taught me a lot about American history when my liberal teacher was trying to inform us that Thanksgiving was hatred towards the Indians.
Right. We were all taught that. I was. My parents were. It's. You know, you're absolutely right. You encountered the actual true story through these books. Did you confront your teacher with the fact that you thought it was a different version, that she was wrong about it?
I did. We battled on a lot based on politics. We battled about global warming and all sorts of things. She's Finnish.
Wait a minute. What grade are you in, Patrick? What grade are you in?
I'm in 8th right now.
And you battled with your teacher?
Correct.
Yeah, and you battled with her about global warming, climate change, and Thanksgiving and so forth. How does it go? How does it end up? Does she respect you?
Eventually, I don't know. One day she just stopped. I found some NASA posts. My friends and I had always been. We always made PowerPoints for fun, and one day we decided to make a PowerPoint on global warming and to see if it was, or to try and prove to ourselves and to her whether or not it was real. And we stumbled upon some NASA post that said that from 2012 to 2013, the polar ice caps had expanded 533,000 square miles.
That's true. They grew. They expanded. The ice expanded. You know, you're in a unique situation here because you ended up knowing more than your teacher knew about this.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because on a lot of issues that she would just briefly bring up, and you would just ask her for proof or where did she get this from, and she would just completely change the subject and ignore your question.
Because she couldn't prove it.
She could not.
She couldn't. Well,
a lot of times it was, I heard it on the radio.
Oh, yeah. That was meant to discredit. Well, is she a nice person despite all this?
She is. She's a good teacher. She's taught me a lot.
She's a good teacher. Well, that's all that matters. You know, there's all kinds of teachers that are good or bad, but you know, even like this teacher's obviously inspiring you. To learn on your own and to maybe not take seriously everything she says. That's all good. You're learning to research. You're learning to think on your own. You're learning to be skeptical of things you're told. That's excellent. That's excellent. I can tell that you have read these books. I can tell they've rubbed off on you. One of the best things that ever happened to you, Patrick, was running into my books. I can hear it. I can hear it in your voice.
I wanted to thank you for one more thing. A few years ago when it was just the first 2 books, The Brave Pilgrims and American Patriots.
Right.
My father and I emailed you. I was like 9 at this point, and in 3rd grade. And me and my dad decided to email you, and you ended up sending us 30 copies of each book with the audio CDs and all sorts of cool stuff.
For your school?
Yeah, my mom owns a little teeny tiny private school, and that's where I used to go.
Oh, this is great. I'm glad that you're one of the recipients. We hear from a lot of people that like the books, Patrick, and we hear from teachers, and they tell us stories that they either can't find the books, or that they're not allowed to have them, or that they can't afford to have as many as they would like. And we have a whole department where we try to take care of hardship cases where people would like mass copies to be able to distribute and give away and can't afford it. And so I'm sure that's where your request ended up. And I'm glad we were able to do that for you. But you're really great to call and thank me for this. I can't tell you how much that means.
Yeah, I've always wanted to call. Every time I'm in the car with my dad, we throw on the podcast. I've been a Rush baby since day one, but we yeah, we didn't quite have the money for the books, so yeah, it really helped out.
Well, this is why we feel fortunate to be able to help, because when people see, Patrick, when people like you have a chance to read these and learn from them, that's its own reward, and it makes the outreach worth it. It could not make us happier that the books have the impact on you that they do, that you like them and that you talk about them, and that they have great values. I don't know how to thank you. I appreciate it very much.
No problem.
Have a great weekend. Do you have a favorite NFL team, Patrick?
I do. Me and my dad both support the Denver Broncos.
Support the Denver Broncos. Oh, it's a tough season. It's
Rush
a tough
Limbaugh
season for the Broncos.
The way on the EIB network.